Hello and welcome to Grindslime TV with me, your host Aaron. And today we are doing B-Side Saturday on a Sunday. It only occurred to me today. It was something like I looked at my phone and was like, oh shit, it's Sunday. And yeah, completely skipped B-Side Saturday. Didn't even mean to. So here it is now, a day later. So, got a few tapes here and a couple of CDs. So just get into it, shall we? No particular order. Let's have a look at this bad boy. Absolute cracker out of California. This was their demo. This is a second pressing of said demo. And we are talking about Mephitic Corpse, Immense Thickening Vomit. Oh, it's a naughty one. See, can never quite get the angle right on these things. It's pretty cool though. So yeah, very sort of old school demo kind of appearance going on there. Very, very cool stuff. And there's the inside there with a coloured photo. Nice. Yeah. Your cheers, thanks, and fuck offs, and your lyrics and whatnot. 3 tracks, all absolutely belting. Very Mortician sort of style without being a complete clone. Definitely some Mortician worship going on, but definitely more in this stricter vein of like death metal, sort of as far as like song structures go and like song length and whatnot. But no, this is a really, really cool little record. There's the tape there for you. So a nice sort of old school sort of brown smoke with some little green stuff going on. So if you're into your filthy, slimy, horrible, dirty death metal, you can do a lot worse than Mephitic Corpse. And probably should have mentioned in my top releases of 2025, their full length was fucking awesome. But like I said at the time, I didn't really put a lot of thought into it. But if I had, Mephitic Corpse's full length definitely would have been on there. So I've also got on tape. I thought, should I get it on CD? And I thought, let's get it on tape. It sounds like it's on the tape anyway. You know, it's got that really cool sort of rough production. So really cool stuff. Right, coming up next, we've got a band that's been featured on here a few times. You guys know I love them, and they're not for everybody, but whew, for those or whom they are for, absolutely fantastic stuff. This is a album, I believe it was from between 2006 2008, I believe, and this is Agathocles Mincer. Oh, gotta love that. Got a nice little brain there being fed into the mincer. And of course, they play a type of grind called mincecore, so it's sort of, you know, all goes into that. Pretty cool little layout here. You've got a shitload of songs. I think there was something like, how many was there? There was 120 on there. I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was like 20 odd tracks. It was like 20 songs maybe. 21. You've got the whole sort of thing going on there. Really cool album. I really enjoy it. They've got several full lengths under their belts, mostly splits and whatnot, and like EPs and live stuff. But the full lengths they've put out, they're generally pretty good. I don't like all of them. Some of them are a bit like some of them have like spoken word poetry on them and stuff, which just isn't my bag. You know, if you're into that shit, that's cool. But it just doesn't do anything for me. But musically, like, yeah, albums like this, To Serve, To Protect, and others as well. Just trying to think of them on the top of my head. But no, this was put out, but this is the reissue that was put out by Grindfather Productions. You can sort of see it all there, yeah, very nice and fancy. So if you're into your grindcore and whatnot, these guys are OGs. We're talking like 86, 87 sort of time, maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit after, but definitely around, it was definitely around after 87. I'm sure I've got a double of EP over there, which I'll show on camera, which is from, that was from 86 or 87. I think it was 87. Either way, fucking great band, old school stuff, definitely pioneers in the genre. Now, coming up next, this is an album I have shown on camera before. I've done a video on this record. In fact, it's one of the more popular videos too, which is always cool. But it's a fantastic album, so it gets plenty of spin time over here. We're talking about those boys from New York, the gore grinders that are Miasmatic Necrosis and their album Apex Profane. This is how you do it properly. First of all, that's the band on the front there, so that's always cool. They've actually gone out their way to make their own artwork and stuff, bought props and everything like that. And on the other side, you've got your lyrics, but good luck reading them because they're all like smeared and got like blood splashed all over them and stuff. You can make some words out, but for the most part, it's kind of like, the fuck is that? Which is, you know, by design, I'm sure, because the track listing you can still read fine. See, whereas on this side, it gets that sort of thing going on. But really, really cool stuff. And also, you can tell they're doing things properly as well because they've got 21 songs in just as many minutes. So that is the way we tend to try and do things around here, is it not? So if you're into your gore grind and you like a bit of groove, but also a little bit of just enough death metal in there just to keep you your love muscles nice and firm. Yeah, oh yes. And this was put out by, who was it? What the fuck does that say? Oh, Graceless Recordings. Yeah, I couldn't quite make that out then. But yeah, but absolutely fantastic record. If you love your gore grind, Miasmatic Necrosis should definitely be on your radar 100%. Now, from both Denmark and Turkey, we have the international death metal band that is an absolute crack. And this is a phenomenal album. It's the only album that I've got. I probably will get their others, but this is one I definitely get a lot of playtime out of, and that is Hideous Entity by Hyperdontia, or however the fuck it is you pronounce it. I don't know, but look at him. Oh, he's got demons coming out of him. Oh god, they're spilling all over the floor. If you think I'm cleaning it, well, you are wrong. But you get 8 tracks on here, and each one in their own right is an absolute banger. You got your lyrics there, look, a little bit of a sort of faded artwork in the background and stuff, which is pretty cool. Sort of minimal kind of look they're going for. And then you've got everything else going on there. You got your band photos, old school as well, very Altars of Madness sort of style there. And their logo was done by David Nicholson of Undergang and Extremely Rotten Productions and about 40 other bands. So always really cool. And this was put out by Desiccated Productions. So you've got some pretty cool stuff going on there. So, oh, hello, zombie. But yeah, every song on here is an absolute banger. But ones that stand out, probably Snakes of Innards, the opening track, which is, as you can see there, he has snakes of innards. Yeah. But yeah, Grinding Teeth, which you can also see there. Look, again, his ribs look like teeths coming out. That very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. But yeah, Grinding Teeth, that's got a really, really cool. That's track 4, was it? Yeah. So you close one side with an absolute banger. And no, wait a minute. Which one is it? Ah, they fucked up here somewhere. Better say, I thought it was track 5. I'm sure it opens up the other. Yeah, it does. Yeah, they fucked that up. On the inside of the lyric sheets, I just noticed they've got Coils of Wrath, Lacerated, Bursting, and Grinding Teeth, all in the wrong order, and numbered as well. So not cool, guys, but I'll forgive you because the music's so fucking good. But yeah, what else we got there? Grinding Teeth. Yep. Oh, mate, all of them. Beast Within's a heavy one as well. That's a really cool one. But like I say, every track on here is an absolute monster, filled with groove and heaviness, and you really do feel like you're being taken on a bit of a journey, like through the music, you know, because it kind of lines up with the lyrics really nicely. So definitely worth getting on. They sort of get that theme and atmosphere in the music going on. So Hyperdontia, or Hyperdontia, I don't fucking know, but yeah, Hideous Entity. It's their second album, absolute belter. I haven't heard Nexus of Teeth. I hear it's very good. I'm going to check it out at some point. And I did hear their latest one, Manifestations of My Fancy Pirate Ship, and yeah, I liked it. I think Hideous Entity is better, but you know, maybe it will grow a bit more on me with a few more listens. Maybe I'm comparing it, you know, maybe put it on in its own sort of right in the background, like, yeah, let's play it a few times. But yeah, I'll get on that soon, I'm sure. Coming up next, we've got an absolute classic here. And I don't think I've talked about this one on the channel yet. May have done. If I have, let me know, but I don't remember talking about it. But you've definitely seen me wearing the shirt a few times, that's for sure. And we are talking about Left Hand Pathology from General Surgery. Oh, absolute Swedish kings of gore grind. You've got the old usual pathological, anatomic sort of gear, all of which are taken from that that old, like, I think it's like an 18th century one of like surgical book things, yeah. But oh yeah, by Andreas Vesalius, taken from the from 1543. So yeah, even older. But yeah, you get the really cool shit here. You get 14 songs within it's like just over half an hour. So you know, they're a bit proggy, but we'll let them off. So we've got all the sort of lyrics and stuff going on here. They've got their pictures and like these older little like locket frame type things. So it's pretty fun, looking all old fashioned and stuff. But really cool. But yeah, this album is filled with those classic kind of carcassy General Surgery gore grind grooves that we've all come to love and expect. But it doesn't just stay in there. It's also got some like classic Swedish death metal elements in there as well. You know, you've got your HM2 worship in there. You've got that same image there as well, look, without the blood and logo. And you know, so it's got a lot of sort of Swedish death metal kind of elements in there. And like you've got some one of the songs on here in particular. Which one was it? And oh well, first of all, it's got my one of my favourite General Surgery songs on here, "The League of Extraordinary Grave Robbers." Absolutely fantastic track. I prefer the demo version. It's just heavier, but this is still wicked. And oh, there it is. Yeah. What the fuck does that say? Oh, Mortuary Wars. That's right. Yeah, that's got a really nice heavy riff towards the end of it. Quite slammy in a way, but not at the same time. Just your sort of typical kind of old school heavy Swedish death kind of chugginess to it, but no, absolutely cracking record. Definitely one that you need to get on. So if you haven't heard General Surgery or Miasmatic Necrosis, you've got two great gore grind bands there. And this album's like 20 years old now, I think. So it's like really getting there. Yeah, oof. Makes me feel old, boys and girls, but that's all right. Got to die soon, ain't we? And then lastly, we've got some old school early 90s death metal from Australia. We are talking about Necrotomy and their demo compilation Orectic Awakening. Really, really cool artwork there. It's got like I've got belly, eye, horns, mate hooks and shit. So really cool there. You get all three of their demos on there from 93, 91 and 1990. These guys were very popular back in the day. They only put out demos, so no full lengths or anything like that. And there's a couple of them there. Those were like their proper like demos. And I think the Doors of Perception demo, which they put out in 93, I know it all got, I don't think it got released. If it did, I don't think it had like any fancy artwork or anything. I remember reading about it in like a Slayer mag and stuff like that. Like, it got some little old fanciness flyer back from back then. Old Pinhead there doing his thing. But yeah, and you got your nice sort of fancy doop. Yeah, so the Slayer mag was a Norwegian zine that went on for years, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. It was good. It was there during the whole sort of satanic panic over in the early 90s in Norway. He was friends of like Emperor Buzz and Mayhem, etc. But his zine's fantastic. It covers. I managed to pick it up A few years ago now, no more than 3, I don't think. I was finally able to get hold of the big old book, the Slayer Diaries. Italian was the guy that made name of the guy who made it, and I was always aware of him and his magazine, just from like the stories of like Burzum and Euronymous, Mayhem, and all that kind of shit that's going on. When I was a teenager, reading up on it, so I was always aware of this magazine, but I could never find it. And then finally, a few years ago, on I think it was eBay, I managed to snag it, and it wasn't too much either. I think I paid like 50 quid or something, but it's a big hardback book, and it's got every single issue in there. So yeah, I managed to find out about Necrotomy in there, so that was really cool. So I think that's part of like as well, like why I sort of read those things, like particularly classic ones, because you want to be able to find those classic demos, and it's quite cool when you go through it and like you're reading and you're like, oh, I've got that one, and then, oh, I've got that one, oh, there's another one I've got. So makes you feel a bit more plugged in, like, oh yeah, I'm doing all right, I'm not doing too bad. But yeah, Necrotomy was one that I just completely found out about through that magazine over the past couple of years, and was just from their interviews, I thought this sounds like really, really fucking interesting, so had to make that happen. So Necrotomy, Orectic Awakening, make that happen. So thank you for tuning in for today's B-Side Saturday, even though it is on a Sunday. Apologies for that. We'll try and get it back on schedule soon. I know I said that last week, but we'll get there. We always get there in the end. So have a good rest of your weekend, and however much left there is of it. And I'll catch you soon.